12 minutes to go in normal time. Liverpool 3-0. Corner taken quickly, Origi! Yes! This is extraordinary.
Hello and welcome to the Redscast, the Liverpool Football Club podcast by the fans and for the fans. If you're listening on KCC Live, hello to any new listeners. Do be sure to follow us on Apple, Spotify, YouTube and anywhere else you can get your podcasts from. If you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe and click that notification bell so you can be notified when we do upload. As always, joined by Ste. How are we doing?
Morning. Yeah, not too bad. No new football to talk about, is there? But
Nah, I mean, other than City and United both going out the FA Cup, that's interesting.
yeah, all London final, innit?
Yeah, well, and that means either Arsenal, Chelsea or faces in the Community Shield. Can't see Chelsea getting passed by Munich anyway, because there was that talk that they could be playing European competitions, weren't there?
Yeah.
And we might have to play Leeds in Wembley, which I mean, I was looking forward to it, to be honest. All their family Leeds fans, so it was just something like, yeah, I can rub this in. But it was looking like, I would probably take Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea were quite good against United. I don't know whether you see much of it. United were pretty poor.
Nah, I didn't. I seen David De Gea's mistake, best goalkeeper in the world. No.
Yeah, it was bad. Like, it just went right through his fingers, didn't it? It was like basically a back pass. For anyone who didn't see it, it was a really tame shot.
It was like it was Karius.
Yeah, I couldn't put it any better myself. Like, it was
Karius in disguise.
It was along the deck. It was about 3 miles an hour, and he just sort of fell on it, and it went right through his fingers and into the corner. It was inexplicable for a keeper of, in the past of his quality, but clearly he's lost all that now.
What does my head in as well, though, is Chelsea, no matter how bad they are, like they're in a transfer ban, they often use the kids, they still manage to win a cup every single season, don't they?
Yeah, they've still got some of that winning mentality, haven't they, from when they were at the top. Like,
they're the main rivals next year, then. Someone asked me this on the weekend. I was in a party and someone said to me, do you think you'll retain the league next year? And I honestly said no. And to be honest with you, if we don't retain it, and it will be probably because we haven't bought. I'm not saying we need to buy, but I think if the rumours are true about who's leaving the club, we definitely can't just be trusting kids.
no.
But the main rivals are definitely Chelsea. When you think that team is already young, it's like hungry, and then you're adding Ziyech into that, Werner into that, and the rumours today is they've just signed Kai Havertz as well.
Really?
Yeah, apparently that's done for 80 mil. So they're going. Roman Abramovich has seen no FFP, and he's thought, yeah, I'll give you a big cash injection.
It's definitely going to be a challenge. I wouldn't completely write City off, seeing as though they are still in the Champions League.
Do you think Pep will stay there now, though?
Probably.
I don't know.
I think he'll take one more year to try and challenge us. I think so. I think it's like a pride thing. This year it will have been a dent to his pride. I think he'll want to try and get that.
Just with Barca doing so bad this year. Like, they've got the lowest points total I think they've had since 10 years ago, something like that. The fact that they might lose Messi,
I think he would want to go back and be associated with that.
He'd turn it round, though, wouldn't he? Because they'd give. If you look at who they've bought players they haven't needed since he left. Like, they didn't need Griezmann because Suarez and Messi are banging goals left, right and centre.
Griezmann's wasted there.
Yeah, and that's why he's like hated now. Like, they don't want him there. They got Coutinho when they didn't really need him, and then he didn't fit their style of playing, and now he's not without a club ultimately at the minute because no one wants him. So it's just like, I think he would go back, to be honest.
So it's one of them. I wouldn't rule it out. My feelings towards it is, I think he will want to prove himself at City.
I don't know.
But, it's one of them. Time will tell, won't it? If it was me, I would want to challenge. I would want to say, look, that was a one season wonder from Liverpool. It wasn't because we're the absolute best in the world, like, but from his point of view, he's probably looking at it going, I want to show that was a blip. I want to show how good I am. But money talks, doesn't it? If Barcelona throw a caseload of money at him, who knows?
Exactly, and he could go there and he'd probably take Kevin with him, which would be
That'd be mouth-watering for Barcelona, wouldn't it? Imagine having Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah, playing behind Messi.
That's if Messi stays, because there's talk of unrest with Messi, isn't it?
Yeah, but and there's one thing with Barca as well, they're aging bad. Like, to get rid of Artur and the rest of the team's like 30s. Messi's in his 30s, Suarez in his 30s, Rakitic is 32, Busquets is 29, 30 this year. They've got an aging team.
Yeah, they've got a couple of players there. They were quite young guys. That's Semedo.
Yes, Semedo, and Ansu Fati's 17.
Yeah, and the left back is a Junior Firpo or whatever his name is.
Yeah, and then obviously they've got Frankie de Jong as well.
But they're not beaters. You know what I mean?
They're not what you'd describe as Barcelona players. No. Like Coutinho was a Barcelona player because he was world class at Liverpool.
Although it didn't work out for him, he was that style of
because they didn't play him in his style, really, isn't it? Like, but they just go for them type of players. Them Real Madrid don't. They get who they want. Yeah. They get the best of the best. Real Madrid have absolutely milked the league this year. Yeah.
They've done a Liverpool, haven't they?
Yeah, I just hope that momentum goes into the City games. They're 2-1 down, aren't they? And they've got to go and play at the Etihad. Can they pull it back? I think if City are still in this mentality, because they've been absolutely abysmal since lockdown, apart from beating us 4-0.
Yeah.
But it seems like anyone can beat the Reds.
I think the home advantage has gone out the window now, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You can see from the results it happened in Germany. You remember, like, there was something silly, like 60% of the games were away wins or something.
Yeah, Schalke were doing boss and then fighting relegation.
Yeah, and then you see some of the results in the Premier League and everything's just gone up in the air. I don't think that home advantage counts for anything.
No, definitely not. I mean, we'll touch on the Arsenal game before we touch on the inevitable, what's happening this weekend. I mean, not this weekend, this Wednesday. Yeah, crap that. But Arsenal game, what are your thoughts on it? I mean, we were going to do a podcast after the Arsenal game, but then it was just I had to dissect it. I couldn't process what had happened in the game. Even just looking at the stats now, I still can't believe it. But then some of the stats that matter are alarming, but we'll touch on that.
I think it was attempts on goal. Attempts on goal for me is the one.
24. And we've only scored once.
We've had 2 on target and scored them both. Albeit, we give them 2.
Yeah. It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because in the podcast build up to it, we were saying how bad their defence
Yeah, and actually, I think David Luiz actually played pretty alright against us, to be fair to him. Like, we've
against
them.
City as well.
Yeah, we've slated them so bad, and then
we shouldn't have slated them, should we?
No.
He actually did play decent, but yeah, 24 shots to their 3. Obviously, their 2 goals came from Van Dijk and Alisson's mistakes. Yeah. It just proves the human. I'm not really that bothered. They've been consistently the best in the world for the past 2 years. Who really cares if they've made a mistake? We've still won the league.
Yeah.
I mean, I said on a podcast a few weeks back, you said to me that you think Klopp wants the points total, which I think he did, but I don't think the players did. I don't think they were bothered. No. I think they were just more like...
They were obviously playing with the flip-flops on.
Yeah, we've won the Premier League. Yeah, just see these games. I also enjoy the Guards of Honour, enjoy being champions. And yeah, I mean, people are saying it's cause for concern, but I still think first game next year, Liverpool overturn whoever's in front of them.
Absolutely. I think that the main thing that showed what you were saying there was Van Dijk's mistake for the goal.
Yeah.
It's not Van Dijk the way he normally plays. He's switched off, and I think for our players, they don't switch off when they're going for something. You know, we were chasing if we were needing that win.
Yeah.
That mistake doesn't happen. He switched off, and he's like, not that it doesn't matter, because everything matters. You want to win, but ultimately, there's no nothing happens if we lose that game.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing else we can do.
This season, I think the motivation, other than wanting to win a football match, beyond that, there's no real motivation to go out and absolutely hammer teams. It's just they're going through the motions.
Yeah, and this stat will prove that really. You got dispossessed 12 times. That's the amount of podcasts we have to think on episode 19 now. I've never seen us being dispossessed 12 times in a game. It's usually 1, maybe 2 times. If Dejan Lovren's playing,
maybe
8
4 or 5.
But yeah, 12 times we got dispossessed. We had 13 corners. Didn't obviously deliver nothing of them. We won 19 aerial duels to their 17. We had 85% pass succession, 70% of the possession. We didn't play terribly, did we, really?
No. It's just, we weren't clinical. And we've said in the past how clinical we have been in games.
Yeah.
And that's another one of them. They say that they're already on holiday.
I mean, I said that now at the Burnley game, I hope it didn't knock Mo's confidence, and it seemed like it did.
Yeah.
The Burnley game. Because after that run of goals, he was after the Burnley match. If Nick Pope winning goals, Salah would have had a field day.
Yeah, he was outstanding.
Yeah, and then because he didn't score, that just always not. He's such a confidence player, isn't he? Like
It's such a Salah thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You see, once he gets one or two, he gets the bit between his teeth, and he's
not Mo Salah anymore.
no.
I mean, some of the subs, Shaq appeared like after us saying how much he hadn't featured and now, and he was injured again, and then he come on. It was what did you make of that?
That really baffled me. I said, because we've touched on it in previous weeks about, like, he's either part of his plans or he's not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no maybe about a player like Shaq. You're either gonna have him in the squad and play him, or get rid of him. And there's times where he never made the bench, and you're thinking, right, that's, if you can't make a 9-man bench, don't even bother.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he comes on off the bench, and you're like,
What's going on?
yeah.
Especially because now I would have give Elliot the run out, to be honest. Because I know Jürgen's probably going to get him a Premier League medal regardless, because I think maybe he might have not played them. Maybe it's a bonus. They'd have to pay Fulham, so we can just give him one on the sly. Or maybe he's trying to prove his point that he wants more medals for people who've been involved, because the way he made out, he wants to give like the dinner ladies and that medals, doesn't he? But I would have brought Elliot on rather than Shaq.
Are we being a bit sort of romantic about it? Because, you know, it's a kid coming through the academy. Does he deserve it? Because we don't see what goes on. Maybe he doesn't deserve to get on.
I don't know, because he's been on the bench, hasn't he? Every game. He's been on the bench more than Jones and Nico. Nico's got a medal now. He's done 5. And Jones is on...
I think he only needs one more, doesn't he?
Yeah. Which, now he's scored, I don't think you have to give him some time.
Yeah. There's 2 games to go.
Whether he gets brought on in the last few minutes on Wednesday or something, he can't leave the lad on 4. You can't let the I mean, Nico's still part of our academy, but he's Welsh. You gotta let the scouts get a medal off you.
Jones will get the 5th appearance. There's 2 games to go. Whether he gets on against Chelsea, or whether there's a call for him even starting against Newcastle. I wouldn't start him against Chelsea.
No.
But there's a shout for him starting against Newcastle.
Definitely. I mean, even Keita, again, come on, change the game. People are still slagging him off on Twitter.
Twitter. Listen, if you're on Twitter and you're giving Liverpool players grief, just go and wobble your head somewhere, because it doesn't...
It's crazy, isn't it? It's absolutely... Keita came on for me and was our strongest player.
Yeah. He was the one that was carrying the ball, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Trying to make things happen.
He's so creative.
Yeah. Deceptively strong as well for a little fella. He can hold players off. He can go past players. His range of passing's really good. So it shows now he's had a run of games. The confidence that's running through him, you can just see. I think he's going to be, starting next season, he's going to be one of the first names on the team sheet, I think.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Maybe that's why they are on that 2 fussed about Ronaldo, but we'll speak about that in a sec. Minamino as well, he came on and looked bright.
Lively, didn't he?
Yeah, he looked bright. I'm liking seeing him down that middle. Maybe he is an alternative to Bobby. Maybe we don't need to go and buy anyone, and because he is the alternative, and he's very similar to Bobby. Although Bobby's world class at what he does, he's very similar in the sense of he's dragging the players out of position for the wide fellas to come in.
Got a bit of pace on Bobby. But I think technically he's not the same. Bobby's first touch is just out of this world. Like some of the things he can do, you can't replace that unless you bring Dennis Bergkamp back. That's the sort of quality of the touch that I'm talking about. Is like, there'll be a ball that'll be like coming over his shoulder, and he's barely even looking at it, and next minute it's like he's got it's like a spell. He's got it under control, and it's he's turned the defender inside out. I don't think Minamino's got that in his locker, but he's a busy player. You say he drags defenders out, he drags midfielders towards him, he makes the space for the others. Ashley, if you listen, I know you hate him. Because I got a text off Ashley when he come on against Arsenal. He was
fuming.
Like, fuming. Oh, we need to buy, blah, blah, blah. Maybe we do. Maybe Minamino will make it. Give the guy a chance, you know what I mean?
I think he will. I think he'll be all right. I mean, I trust everything Jurgen does. People raised eyebrows when they went and bought Wijnaldum from... That was one of his first signings, wasn't it? Yeah, and then he went and bought Robertson from well-rated Hull.
I didn't realise Klopp had brought Wijnaldum. I thought
he's been there since the start with Klopp. I think I'm sure, 99% sure he was the first sign. I don't think Brendan Rodgers got Wijnaldum. Because I'm sure when we played Leicester, it was only Henderson who was left. Because on that, if you look at the lineup from what you sent me from his first game, Wijnaldum wasn't even on the bench or not in there, was he? It was only Henderson.
I remember sending you. I can't remember any of the names.
I'm sure Wijnaldum was one of his first signings as manager, so I think he has been there from the start with them. So people have raised eyebrows about signings before. Don't forget Minamino came in January. When we were still nailed on trying to win the league. It was pretty much done, but it wasn't mathematically done. So we weren't going to get into starting lineups when we're powering through. And then we had lockdown, so he was out of his stride. We had 13 weeks that he went together for, something like that. And people were expecting him to come on and set the world alight when he's only been there 5 minutes. It's just Robbo got 6 months.
It's done him well.
Yeah, it's done him really well. And when you think back to Robbo, he signed in the summer, so we had the first half of the season where we were consistently playing but not getting on.
Yeah.
Minamino wasn't had that, so he's still learning. He's not going to be...
There's the language barrier, the cultural issues and all that sort of stuff that he's had to adapt to as well. So it was always going to take time.
Yeah, and people are slating him already. It's just...
That's just Twitter for you. And
it's a sour place,
It can be really bad.
I was going through it when Alden posted a message. It didn't...
it wasn't an obvious farewell, but it was a...
It looked like a farewell, and loads of people saying it's also been a farewell. But did you actually read some of the replies he was getting?
I tend not to because it winds me up.
Oh,
you see players post something, and some of the replies, I have to just walk away because I end up in a fight on Twitter. And
yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, for context, for anyone listening who hasn't seen it, when Alden posted a picture of him praying, because he's very religious, isn't he? So he posted a picture of him praying and said he's looking forward to he's thanking all the Liverpool fans and stuff like that, but then saying he was looking forward to Wednesday. So some could pass it off as a farewell message to the fans. But then some of the replies were like, thanks to Barcelona, but GTFO out of this club.
Yeah.
And it was just and then there was one fella who's a writer for a fan publication. I'm not going to name it. And he was posting, so apparently when Alden's going to be part of the Thiago deal.
Yeah.
So he was posting pictures of a headshot of Thiago and a headshot of Wijnaldum with a big X through Wijnaldum saying not good enough, or upgrades and stuff like that. And it's
absolute nonsense.
Yeah, this is the fellow who he won us the Champions League last year. If he wouldn't have come on the pitch, we wouldn't have got stuff final.
He changed that Barca game.
Yeah, completely changed it. So how can any person, regardless, Wijnaldum could be absolutely terrible for the next 4 seasons at Liverpool, and I still think he's an absolute Liverpool legend for what he's done against Barcelona. And that's what genuine fans think. But honest to God...
Are these genuine fans?
No, I understand.
It's a handful of idiots.
A lot of them, when you click them, weren't even Liverpool, from Liverpool. And obviously we do have fans all around the world. We're a worldwide club now. But when it comes to social media, a lot of the fans who are... Some of the very, very passionate ones are like the Indonesian Reds and the Australian Reds and stuff like that. They're very passionate. But then you see Liverpool fans from other parts of this country, and it's just like the only thing that we're going to get now is, when I remember back to primary school, I had a few people in primary school who supported Chelsea and they supported United. Glory hunters is what we call them.
Yeah.
I think we're going to start getting a few of them now. Because
we are. That's just a natural thing, isn't it? Kids, especially young kids.
Yeah.
Where they haven't got
half a brain cell
or a decent local team.
Yeah.
You know, if they're stuck in I don't know, Lincolnshire or, you know, down by Ipswich, that, you know, places like that hasn't got like a world-class football team, they're going to be looking for who's the best.
Oh, I support them.
Yeah.
The City kids last year. But that's what does me. I think they're the ones who are probably slagging these players off on Twitter.
Yeah.
And they're seeing like, oh, probably sit for like little FIFA kids. Oh, they're getting Thiago. Yeah. Oh, he's this rating. Ronaldo's this rating. Get out and start tweeting at him. And it's just like, they aren't proper fans. But imagine how we can see that. Now, if anyone replied to anything of mine, I'd see it. Now, I know they're world class and they probably have the notifications turned off.
Yeah.
But they definitely do still.
I think a few of them have got people who deal with the social media for them, haven't they? They actually hire someone and they'll say, "I'll just throw something on for me." And I don't think they even look at it half the time.
I mean, I know some footballers. Josh King, I work with his cousin. He only has people allowed to comment on his Instagram who he follows.
Yeah.
Because it's dead funny because you'll see all these like footy players commenting, like fire emojis and that, and then you just see Henry put on like fire emojis to Josh King, and it's dead funny. Yeah. But yeah, so I'm not surprised players do that. But Twitter, you can't actually.
Can you not have that setting?
I don't think so. That you can only have people who follow you tweet you back, but your profile's open.
You can have it on. You can have it on private, can't you? Or some sort
private
of private where they can't retweet it, but they can comment and things.
Yeah,
like
so
that.
that's only people who follow you.
Yeah.
But then football players, obviously the worldwide superstars, they can't have a private social media.
I think, as I said before, I think a lot of them don't even look at it. They'll just send their agent or their media, whatever. They'll send them a message and go, "Look, throw on XYZ, whatever." Because there was a famous one a few years back, wasn't there, where a player had sent his agent or his whatever person it is that deals with the social media for them, he'd sent them a text saying, and the first words were, "Put something like."
Oh, and they copied the whole thing.
And they copied the whole thing, and the actual tweet or their Instagram post was "put something like," and then whatever he'd said. So he got absolutely rinsed for it. Like, yeah.
But yeah, it's we'll move nicely on to the inevitable on Wednesday. Do you know what I said? I think I've jinxed us today. I've said I don't care. We could lose every game as long as we beat Chelsea, and we've been terrible. But are you in terms of forget what's happening after 90 minutes? We'll discuss that in a sec. But what about looking towards the Chelsea game? Are you confident?
Yeah, I think this will be the one where the players will have that extra motivation because they don't want to be getting beat or coming off the back of a disappointing performance / result and then going up and getting the trophy. They want to be going up to get that trophy on a high, because I can't think of anything worse than getting beat by Chelsea and then going up and picking.
In context, if you played for Liverpool and you got beat by Chelsea, but you knew that at the end of the game you were lifting the Premier League, would you really be bothered? That's the thing that I keep thinking. Like their minds are not going to be on that game.
The minds are obviously going to be on the trophy. I just think that little thing might be a little bit of extra motivation.
Yeah,
that they want to come off a good feeling on the pitch to get that trophy. At the end of the day, they're getting the trophy regardless. But I don't think they would want a poor result to tarnish the night. Yeah,
I mean, I'm hoping with all my heart that we win them. I don't like getting beat by Chelsea.
No. So yeah, one of the games I went to, I think it's probably my only away game this year, was Chelsea in the cup.
Yeah,
and we got beat.
That's right. Journey home was grim.
Yeah, it was a grim journey home. To be fair, great journey down there. Probably one of the best aways I've ever been to. But coming home was not nice.
I mean, I'm just open, and in the Community Shield's nothing. I love it. I love the little
it's
day out.
Nice day out,
you know, like I went last year. I had a boss day. I can mention it on the last podcast with the City fans, but I had a proper boss day, to be honest. And I'm open. They've said about the Community Shield's meant to be like letting them a few thousand fans in.
Yeah,
and that's where they're trialing it.
Well, does Wembley holds about 80,000-90,000, something like that?
91.
So you're saying they're going to let 21,000 in Anfield, didn't you?
That's what I've seen, so
it's about 40% capacity, isn't it, of Anfield?
Yeah, so it's going to be talking about at least 40,000, 20,000 from each, maybe. Yeah. But then the rules have changed now, haven't they? You've only got to leave a metre plus, so it's only one seat or one
metre. I think if you got 1 metre, if you take precautions, like if you wear a mask, you can leave a metre or something.
Yeah, I mean, you probably have to wear a mask for the footy matches, which are dreading it. I'm dreading Friday going in the shops with them. I can't breathe in them, mate.
No.
They're horrible. But yeah, looking to the Chelsea game then. It's probably the last time we're going to play Chelsea before they have the world class Germans coming in to come in and help them out. But I mean, one thing that I always got told in life is if it's not broken, don't fix it. Now Chelsea's midfield isn't broken, so we're getting Zajček, I can understand his distribution of the ball, absolutely unbelievable. I'm looking forward to seeing him in the Prem. Even though it's for Chelsea, I'm looking forward to seeing how he handles himself in the Prem. Then if they get Kai Havertz, it's like, where's Mason Mount playing? And he has been world class this season. Like as much as I hate Chelsea, I've really enjoyed watching them this year because it's been the kids, and them having a chance. Do you know what I mean? And
it's a good formula, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, as much as I don't like Frank Lampard, you've got to appreciate how much he's done for the game.
Yeah.
In like the whole grand scheme of things. But I'm watching it and I'm just thinking like of Gerrard really. Like, is he going to come to Liverpool and give all the kids a chance because he worked with the kids? Is that FSG's plan? Because he's worked with these kids who are coming through. And I know Lampard hadn't, but just seeing like Mason Mount and that, like he's bossing the Prem and just seeing like he's a Chelsea lad, isn't he?
I'm not
sure.
Or he's got that other kid as well. That is a Gilmore or
he's
Scottish. He's a bit younger.
World class him, you know. He's world class.
They have got quite a strong, deep squad now. So probably up front they might need.
I agree with Werner for them because they only really had Sammy Abraham, didn't they?
Although Giroud is absolutely turning it up, isn't he?
At the minute, yeah. He's not a bad player, Giroud, really, when you think about it. Now, when you think about him, what he's done, what he's achieved, he's not a bad player. I mean, Lovren's achieved highs, but
Giroud is just
he's hit and miss.
Good number 9.
Yeah.
He did well at Arsenal. He scored some great goals, didn't he, at Arsenal? He's done well at Chelsea. I think he gets a bit of a rough deal, to be honest with you. Maybe that's because of the size of the club he's at or whatever. For the quality of the player, he gets benched a lot.
Yeah. It's mad.
You've got to wonder why.
But with Chelsea, though, like, that's what I mean. Out of the 3 summer signings, well, they haven't got Havertz at the minute, but it's very, very likely. It's the midfield that they've strengthened massively. And then you look at the Chelsea team and you're thinking, you need a new keeper.
Yeah.
Because Kepa thinks he's bigger than the club, and he's shocking. But then you see him.
See Caballero played quite well yesterday.
He's always a decent backup keeper, like proper decent backup keeper. But Kepa, it's mad because sometimes you can see that he can be world class.
Just his head's not screwed on right.
Yeah, he just isn't consistent. He's a bit like Reina. Because Reina could be world class and had pulled off some world class saves, but then sometimes
some howlers,
so he's a bit like Reina. But so they need a new keeper. They probably need a new left back because he's torn between Emerson and Alonso. I think is it Alonso? He switches between, or is that right back?
No, not left back.
Left back, yeah. So he switches between them. So he isn't set on one of them.
Aging a little bit.
The only one I'd probably keep out of their defence is Rudiger if I was them.
Yeah, you got Azpilicueta's. Was he pushing 30 now?
I think he's 31, 32, 31. You know now. I don't rate him either, me.
He's just a solid player. He's just been going for years, hasn't he? I think they probably, if I was a Chelsea fan, I'd want Trent. They need Alonso on the left, great. Emerson, I haven't seen much of, so I can't speak for him. But if he's getting a game for Chelsea, he can't be that bad. The right back, I think, is probably the.
I don't think who do you play right back.
I think it might be Azpilicueta. Or
he's a
Christiansen,
isn't he?
maybe.
No, Christiansen's a centre back as well.
I don't know. Yeah.
I'll have a look from the last game. I don't know who they played. To be honest, I can't think who plays left back for them at all.
Left back was Alonso.
Right back, sorry. So in the last game against United yesterday, let's see, they play 3 at the back. Well, they play very, very similar to Liverpool by the looks of it. They had Zuma, Rudiger and Azpilicueta at the 3 at the back, but then they had that Reece James on the right and Alonso on the left with Kovac and Jorginho. But if they're playing that formation right, Giroud obviously hypothetically is going to be Werner.
Yeah.
Is Zajček a right winger?
He's left-footed, isn't he? I think he's more of a cam, to be honest with you.
So that would probably mean, say, Kovacic But then if they got Havertz, where's Jorginho going? Is he getting bailed? It's just. But then Jorginho's like half a Fabinho. He tidies it up at the back for them.
I think they've just got strength and depth with the 5 substitute thing staying. I think that'll help them all get more games.
Honest to God, they're gonna miss Willian.
Yeah,
I think I don't want him.
I'd take him.
I'd take him to come on the bench, but I don't really want him, to be honest. I don't know why. I just don't feel him.
It's probably the Chelsea thing. If he was coming in from, I don't know, Santos.
I'd rather screw them over and get someone else off them, like what they've done to us with Torres. Still hurts that. Still hurts me. So I'd rather screw them over in other ways. But Willian's not past it, but I'd rather get Adama in that position and then Willian goes to Wolves.
Have you seen the valuation of Adama though?
Yeah, it goes up.
135 million they want for him.
What?
135 million. I seen that on one of the socials yesterday.
What did Coutinho go for?
90 was he? No, about 100. No,
Coutinho went for
100. He was about the same because we got Van Dijk and Alisson pretty much for the same. I think it was about 140 million.
Oh my God! So they're rating the Downs for the same as
135. That's according to something on Instagram. I think it was.
Wow.
Yeah, because it popped up, but something else popped up. There was another player that we've been linked with in a similar position as well. Popped up. I can't even remember who that was. Would you take? I just went, no, not him. I just scrolled past and then that popped up. I think it was like an advert off Prime Sport or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was a Wolves value at Adama Traore at 135 million.
Like that, they apparently want 90 mil for Jimenez, and United are looking at. He's 29, Why would you pay 90 million for a 29-year-old striker? It's like, people are saying, Koulibaly being like 60, 70 million. He's 29.
Defenders have got a longer life.
Yeah, Van Dijk's 29 as well, so you just compare him to Van Dijk. He is as good as Van Dijk, isn't he? And so he's probably got about 6-7 years, so that's nothing. But as a striker, at 29, you pass your peak. 28, your peak as a striker.
Yeah, you've got a couple of years left in you at top level.
Yeah.
I think at 29 before you start to... you lose
United
yards,
to
you pick up injuries.
Love United to get him because he'd only be good for a year or two. I don't think he's that good either, Jimenez. So he's clinical, but he's not.
You'd like to see him in a top team, wouldn't you, to see what he can really do? But at this age now, he hasn't got much more time.
I've never really liked him because he put Raul on the back of his shirt, and it's just like, you think you're never, ever going to be Raul. Oh. But yeah, looking to the game then on Wednesday, what happens after it's just a small matter of Liverpool lifting the Premier League.
Yeah, see, Wednesday's a big thing for me because after the day we won the league, that Chelsea game, I haven't had a drink since then. Not one. It's past my lips. I said, right, that's it. I'm not drinking for the whole of July. 1st of August, I'm having a bevy. But Wednesday is exactly 28 days since that day, and I'm thinking, that's a month, And I'm trying to talk myself out of it. It's like, no, you got to wait till the 1st of August. But then I'm like, yeah, but we're lifting the trophy. You got to toast to that, haven't you?
Yeah, you've got to. You have got to. I mean, I'm not, as of yet, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to stay in and watch it with the dog, Big Virgil.
See, I'll have to. It's another one for me. I've got the kids that night, so I can't.
You're going to be in your kitchen with your shots again, aren't you?
I'm off to text Paul again. Like, come round. I need someone to have shots with.
I mean, like, no one said. I mean, some of my mates have mentioned about booking a table and going and watching him in a pub and that, but I don't really want to be honest, because I don't know. I mean, I went out to when we won it because that was just an outburst of emotion, and I went down to the Peterhead for like an hour. But I don't really want to go to the pub to watch it.
No, I think the excitement for the game is less than the excitement for what happens after the game.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'll try and put some images up on the screen now of Anfield. I don't know if you've seen them at the minute with you live close with all the barriers around it.
No.
Yeah, if you next walk the dog, have a look. They've put all barriers around Anfield.
I'm assuming that's like as a preventative thing to stop people.
Yeah, I'm thinking so.
Or is it a barrier as in, come down but don't come past this barrier because the players are coming out sort of thing? Or
that's what I seen on Twitter, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not going out at the minute. But
if that's the case, you'll be legging it down the ground.
Yeah, I mean, I'm only 5 minutes, 10 minutes away from the ground in a car. So I'd be straight up there, but it does look like they could come out on the main stand, but then It's just like, why would Liverpool do that? Given the government guidelines, if they'd done that,
Is it the main stand? Did you say? Because
Yeah.
they've been working. I've been like,
They have been doing work
They have
on the
been working
steps,
on the main
haven't
stand
they?
on the steps for a while anyway.
But they've like, it's like,
Extra thing they've done.
yeah, it's like when I last went, when we won the league, I went to get the flags and stuff, and they had like where he's working on the main stand steps then. So I think it's just to do with that. But where they've put things, I mean, it's mad because they're not that secure. If you wanted to scale them, you could.
Yeah.
So I can't see the players coming out on them.
Unless they're going to have security on them.
Yeah.
As well.
But then I've just got this feeling, well, when Liverpool played against the first game back after we had just won the league at home. Was it Brighton? Oh, it wasn't Brighton. Was it Burnley?
Palace, was it?
Or Palace? I don't know who it
I think
was.
it was Palace, wasn't it?
We was in work and we walked down Stanley Park and there was just 6 stewards, all car parks were closed and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just like, do you think that they would just do the same? I think they probably have more police there on Wednesday. I think they'll have loads of I think every road from like Rowbrek up to like even down by the Mackies, by the Walton Asda.
I think after what happened when we won the league, I think they're going to go a bit heavier.
Yeah.
As a precaution. Whether anything...
Well, they'll probably like close it off. Like they close it off quite a lot by the petrol station, don't they?
Yeah.
So they'll probably close it off from there, going all the way down. But down past the Arkles, like by that Walton Asda, just close that whole road off. They've done that a few times. My uncle lived down there. And then close off like Brown Stanley Park and stuff. So there's no way in.
Close off any road. They always close that off anyway, don't
So there's no way into the ground. I can see that happening more than the players coming out. Because if the players came out, hypothetically...
I can't see the players coming out, to be honest with you.
I can't myself, because think hypothetically, we would get absolutely rinsed by the government as well.
Yeah.
We could even...
It's asking for people to come. And the advice is to not.
Yeah.
So,
and that's what I mean. I feel like, I don't know, I'm in two minds because...
Even Jürgen said, hasn't he?
Stay inside.
Stay inside. We'll have our party when the time's right.
But then thinking about that, don't you think it's a bit mad? So if say Gruitch, well, he's not past the scene. So say Shaqiri goes, Divock goes, Lovren goes. Granted, they're not starters. But then, say for example, Divock Origi's playing for, I don't know, Leeds next year. Does he say to Leeds, I need 2 days off so I can get balladed on a hoping bus tour around Liverpool? Do you think they're going to... say, for example, we've got Leeds next game.
They're going to tell them where to go.
Yeah. So how are they going to parade it next season? And then you've got new players potentially sitting there and you go to them, you can't, like... Obviously, they can't be part of it.
A lot of it's about team bonding as well. And if you say, well, you new lads, just stay at home for this one, it's not really a good message to send out.
No, it's a bit mad. Like,
thing, isn't it?
I think they will do something before the start of the new season myself. What that will be, I don't know. But I do think they might do something. But that's what I'm in two minds really for the week for Wednesday, because it's like I want to go out and be with my mates and experience the moment. But then I had that when Chelsea won,
and I think that's
go
the
on
message
the ground.
Everyone's got to get out. We've had our celebration.
Yeah, I mean, them 2 days.
And we got quite a bad name for it.
Yeah, we did.
As a fan base, for the bad behaviour of a handful of people, give us a bad name for everyone. Don't give them another excuse. That's
what I was thinking, like, because
we've had our celebration, isn't it? Just
that's what I was saying to my missus. Like, she said to me, "Oh, you're going out on Wednesday?" And I said, "So I don't think so. Like, I might just have a few cans and just chill and watch it in ours," because I had the boss 2 days when that happened. But then I was absolutely petrified that I might have caught coronavirus. I didn't like going round to meet parents or meet nans or anything like that until I'd had a test, and I was negative. So fantastic, but you can't always play that risk. And I know, and I'm not bothered when anyone says you can't socially distance in a pub, especially with a pub out to lift. And that's another thing. Like, you have to book a table. Yeah. So you need to decide. Like, I couldn't decide on Wednesday. Oh, let's just go to Boozer.
Yeah.
You've got to book them probably now, wherever it's booked, and it's just like the hassle of it all. And you just know that the police are going to be open for a bit of trouble.
And it's not a case of, nothing's going to change. We've won the league. We are going to lift that trophy. So it's not you're not going out with anticipation of what might be.
Yeah.
You know what's coming.
I mean, I'm probably more inclined to like watch it, have my mates around or something. I just don't know, yeah. I might just, I don't know, like, part of me wants to just go around to my mum's, don't watch it with my dad.
Yeah.
Like, part of me wants to do that.
That's a shot. I wish my dad was here because I'd be watching it with my dad. My dad's
Yeah.
still stuck abroad.
But just for me, like, some of my mates are, like, one of them's a truck driver and works away. So he won't be here. So it's just like, I'm one of them. I'd rather have everyone there or just do it on my own. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't, even though he wouldn't be bothered because he's just at work. For me, when everyone's there enjoying themselves and know that one of my mates is sat in a cab on his own, I'd rather be on my own as well, so that we can't all sit and talk about it. And he's just
FaceTime him or whatever.
Yeah. Just a nice guy, aren't I, really? But
yeah, but that might change on Wednesday when you wake up.
I say that because when we Chelsea, when I was staying all day, even if they win, I'm not doing that. I'm staying in. And
you get wrapped up in the moment.
Yeah, the minute the final whistle went, I got a text Anfield. Then I couldn't say yeah quick enough. I had my shoes on so fast. You'd think I was about to run a marathon.
And I think part of that was that anticipation of is it, isn't it?
Yeah,
this is different on Wednesday because it is.
How good's it gonna be though?
It's gonna be like amazing. Just to see that trophy go up.
It's hard for him to win it, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it takes a little bit away from it that we're not winning it on the day and then lifting the trophy.
Yeah,
because that's like ultimate like elation, isn't it? That everything just comes together in one day and wow,
yeah,
we've won. We already know we've won it, but just to see that trophy that Jordan come up John Terry style in his trackie, and do you reckon he will?
He's gonna have to put his kit on, isn't he? He's not gonna. I think they'll all have like champions tops on.
Yeah,
with the gold badges now on. It makes me wonder though. Do you reckon they'd wear the night kit against Newcastle? Because all New Balance really wants us to continue wearing the kit forwards for that picture.
Like Chelsea have got the new kit on already, haven't they?
Yeah, but they haven't changed manufacturer.
Ah, right. Yeah, they changed sponsor though.
I think it's August 1st actually when the deal comes into play. One thing I'm disappointed about, massively disappointed about. Have you seen what they're doing for the trophy lift?
Oh, they've took away all the seats in the Kop, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean,
it's like an old fashioned sort of Wembley style where you go up the steps and.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I like that they're lifting them in the Kop because that's where the fans are. And it's like a tribute to the fans. It could
have been a stage on the, like what they do for the Champions League. Just bring on your pre-made temporary stage and get on.
Yeah.
But, whatever. As long as that they get that trophy.
That's not what's bothering me though. Have you looked further into what's happening?
I know they got Kenny coming in, haven't they?
That made up about that. I'd rather have Kenny giving the medals out than some crap from the Premier League.
I don't think I'm getting at what you're getting at. What have you seen that I haven't?
Apparently, the stadium lights dim just before he lifts it, and then they all come on like a party, and they have fireworks from all four corners of the ground. Pretty much what Leicester and Wolves do before the game. It is so embarrassing. I understand that. They're trying to make something of a bad situation. I get it, but whoever's being in charge of it, that is abysmal.
That's not a Liverpool thing to do, is it?
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather them make it different by saying, do you know what we'll do? We'll spend 2 days driving around every street in Liverpool. You stay in your house, but we'll drive past your house with the cup, like on a bus. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like that's different. That's something, but that's probably something most other clubs might consider, but Liverpool just want to have a woody party.
Yeah.
But it's just like...
the firework thing, I don't know.
I mean, I get that there's usually fireworks going off behind them and the confetti as they lift it. I get that.
But the whole light dimming thing, and maybe, you know what?
I'm not...
At the time, we probably won't care.
I just hope that the pictures, though, like, how, like, all dark and have to be superimposed or something because they've dimmed it. And I hope them dimming it doesn't cut out Jordan Henderson's dance.
Yeah.
Because that's what we all want to see.
You just don't want anything taken away from the moment, do you?
No, we really don't. But I mean, seeing that red ribbon with the gold writing, the Premier League, it gives me goosebumps, and I can't wait to get it tattooed onto me. I've already been planning ideas. I'm not telling anyone what I'm getting.
So you've got nowhere left to tattoo, have you? You have to get it on your
I'm getting Jürgen tattooed onto me, aren't I? That's something I've always said. If he won the league, I'd get him tattooed onto me. So I don't know where that's going. But I'm getting Jürgen with Boom, and then I'm getting another tattoo, which I'm not telling no one about till it's done because it's going to be cool.
You'll have a job finding 19 stars to put on you.
I've already got 6. So I wouldn't put 19 stars. Like, it's a cool idea that I've seen.
To be announced.
Yeah, to be announced whenever I go and get a tattoo. But I mean, it's hard because I'm going away in a few months, well, a few weeks now. So if I get a tattoo, if I was to get a tattoo now, I'd just make it in terms of going away.
Yeah.
So like, I could go in the pool and that. But then he's booked up for like a week. So then I wouldn't make it.
Yeah, you'd have to wait till you
It's a few days either side. So it's not worth it. I might just wait till I'm back. As much as I'd love to parade around Marrakesh with me Jürgen Klopp tattoo. I don't have to leave for a little bit. But yeah, so you think strong team then on Wednesday?
I think
full strength.
Yeah, full strength. Injuries, we've got Henderson.
Yeah.
I think that's it, isn't it? So
Curtis Jones.
Nah.
You said this last time when you started.
Yeah, I know, yeah. So probably I'll go Trent, Virgil, Gomez. Is Matip still injured? Is he out for the season?
He's out for the season.
Yeah, it's got to be Van Dijk, Gomez, Robertson, Fabinho, Keita.
This is where it's hard because he's tried both of them, they don't work.
Yeah,
but he tried Curtis Jones, it did work. So
got to be Gini. He's got to play Gini and Keita. From that cryptic Twitter message he put out, it looks like he's gone. I think he's got to give him his last game at Anfield.
Yeah.
Then usual front three: Bobby, Salah, Firmino. Bobby, Salah, Mane.
I agree with it all, but Gini, I think he'll start Jones. Just because he's tried that midfield. And it's just, it doesn't work.
Well, maybe.
I'm trying to think who else played.
He played Chamberlain, didn't he, against Arsenal? That was.
Maybe he might play Milner's back though, wouldn't he?
Possibly.
Milner was he on the bench? He's Arsenal, yeah.
If he plays Milner gets the armband, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think Henderson's going to lift it regardless.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll, because he's injured, that'll stop him lifting that cup.
It won't stop him fighting everyone off.
Thinking about the trophy lift though, right? I was thinking about this. Do you think Henderson will lift it on his own or with Klopp? Because I've just got this feeling.
I think he will want Klopp too, but I
Klopp
think
won't let him.
Klopp's not about himself. Klopp's like, because I remember when one of the first things he did, I think we sang Jürgen Klopp's name, like not long after he'd started, and he come out in the press and said, "Don't sing about me. It's not about me. Sing about the boys on the pitch." So I think he's more.
Yeah, because we don't sing much about Klopp, do we? It's all the players.
And
but
I think that's because of that.
Yeah.
That was like a sort of poignant moment in his leadership. Was like, "Don't sing about me."
I was thinking as well. Do you reckon the players are going to start touching this Sanfield sign now? Because they didn't. Yeah, but they didn't after the Champions League. And I don't know if Jürgen's maybe said to them, "No, you win the Premier League first. You give them what they."
I do remember he said, "You don't touch it till you've won something."
Yeah, I think
now they've won everything.
Henderson always touched it because he'd won the League Cup, didn't he?
Yeah.
And from what I can remember this season, I think Van Dijk touches it.
I've not even. It's not something I've paid attention to. So.
Yeah, I paid attention at the start of the season. I think Van Dijk touches it and Trent. And I think Deggs, he touches it, but he just obviously he does.
We won't say any more about that.
Especially if he gets a new deal. But yeah, apparently, no, I think that we will probably all.
I think if you know what, they deserve it.
But then maybe players are very superstitious, aren't they? So they might be, we haven't touched it when we've won everything. So if we touch it now, imagine if they touched it and started getting beat.
Yeah, but they've started getting beat, so maybe they need to touch it. Maybe it's like, look, you've won now, touch it quick.
What do you think about Bruce Grobbelaar's thing? Do you believe it?
Oh, the peeing on the post?
Yeah.
It's a bit, it's all
do you know what, right?
superstitious.
I'm not into...
Whatever it is, it seems to have worked.
This is what I mean. Like, I'm not really into conspiracy theories. And one of my mates is rife into them. Loves them. Absolutely loves them. Lives and breathes them. But he hasn't mentioned anything about this one. But it does allow, like, when you think about things in a bigger context, it allows you to understand a little bit, like, about the world. Because obviously everything's not as it seems. We're not going to get into all of this.
That's a different podcast for a different day, isn't it?
Talking about Bruce Grabler, though. Now, some superstitions, there's been so many stories in the world of people who have been under witchcraft spells and stuff, and they've had to break them. Now,
it's unexplainable, isn't it? So
it's not like nobody knows about it because people were present when this witchcraft person done it. It was have you won the league? And he said you're not going to win the league again unless what did they call them? Sutton Arms, or the Jungle Boy they called him, is in goal.
Yeah,
and then he left, and we haven't won it since.
Yeah.
And then he only managed to do one post last year, and we get 90.
And then he come back. Yeah, and then he
come back in a charity game and done both, and we were able to win the league. Just imagine now if this is what puts Liverpool, like, we're back to normal. Imagine if we've been under a witchcraft spell for this 30 years.
That would explain a lot, actually.
I mean, it would though, wouldn't it? Because when you look at some of the teams who've tried to win us the league, now we had Alonso, Mascherano, Gerrard, Hippier, Carragher, Reina and Torres in a team.
Yeah. I'm sceptical about all things like that, but, you know, whatever. He's peed on the post. We've won the league, so yeah, get him back. He can pee on the post every year.
Do you think we'll win it again next year?
No. That sounds a bit pessimistic. I would be happy with a close challenge because I wouldn't write City off just yet. With them still being in Europe, I said they're going to keep the best players. No financial fair play, so they're not going to be shy of spending money.
Yeah.
Chelsea, obviously looking strong. I think it'll be a 3-horse race, and as long as we're one of them three, I'll be happy with that. We win it, fantastic. But I don't want to drop off. I want to be challenging to the final couple of weeks of the season. I'll be happy with that. Maybe a cup, maybe the FA Cup.
I want to win the FA Cup. I don't know why. Probably because it's one of... I'm not that. We aren't even in the League Cup next year now anyway, are we? So I am one of them who likes us to challenge for everything on all fronts. One of my favourite seasons as a supporter was the year with Hooley when we won.
Oh, the treble?
No, we won 5 cups in the space of like a year. Didn't we? We won the Community Shield, the Super Cup, the League Cup, FA Cup, and the UEFA Cup. I enjoyed that massively. I was only a kid, but when you think back to it, that was such a good season because we won everything bar the league. I would like to see us challenge for the FA Cup, more for Hendo because you just know that he grew up wanting to win that.
Yeah, we've touched on this a few times.
Yeah,
it's like a Sunderland.
And I'd like to see us just trust more of the kids in it. And I'm saying I want to give us a good go and saying play the kids, but in the rounds where you can play kids, play them. Yeah. But then when you get teams like Arsenal, don't think you're smart and still play kids. You know what I mean? Like, or Chelsea's play kids, play a mix.
I mean, you've got to play against whatever you're up against.
Yeah.
You take each game as on its own merit. Like, you can't say, oh, it's the FA Cup, so I'm playing.
He might now go for it though, mightn't he? Because he's not in the League Cup, so he has got a break where League Cup games would be. Yeah. I just think we're going to win the Champions League again next year. Because
I wouldn't mind that.
We would have won it. Honestly, believe we would have won it this year. Even though we're only going to one leg games, I still think we would have won it. Or if it wasn't for Adrian, obviously. But
where's the final next year? Any ideas?
I think it might be Istanbul, because...
Isn't that this year?
No, because of what's happened. They're doing it in Portugal, aren't they, in Lisbon? In like a World Cup style competition. Okay. How they're finishing it. Well, obviously that's if it is.
They postpone that Istanbul.
Yeah, I think they'd postpone it to next year. I know it's definitely in Lisbon. Because Turkey's mad at the minute, proper mad. Obviously we got friends over there, haven't we? And who we stay with all the time. And she was saying to us like they can't go out after. I think it's something stupid like 8 o'clock at night. You can't go out.
Proper curfew and everything.
Yeah, you've got to wear a mask everywhere now. It's like 40 degrees in Turkey in August, and they're walking around with masks on. It's proper strict. I mean, when it first came into play, obviously she's British, she's married to a Turkish. She wasn't allowed out of the house for 2 weeks. Anyone British was not allowed on the streets for 2 weeks.
Whether they've been home or not.
Yeah, and she hasn't been home. She's got a Turkish citizenship as well. She's lived there for... They own a hotel and that. They've lived there for years. She's got Turkish citizenship, paid Turkish taxes, whatever. And she couldn't leave her house for like 2 weeks.
Because of where she was born. Like.
Yeah, and over 60s as well can't go out at all, I don't think. If you get stopped, you're fine. And Turkish governments are ruthless. Like even just when you're walking along the strip and that when you're there,
I
they
get
have guns and
I
that.
get the vulnerable thing. Like if you're in a vulnerable
Yeah.
category, stay at
Turkey
home.
hasn't even
But
been that bad, has it? Not that I can think of. I mean, some of me mates own like shops and that there and bars, they're still open. But it's just like, obviously we're under a restriction
Restrictions, yeah.
sort of thing. I mean, my mum's not going this year, and obviously I'm not going this year. I'm going to Marrakesh, but I just hope it is Istanbul next year. I've just got the feeling we would win it then.
we'll be top seeds as well, won't we? Well,
Yeah,
amongst the top seeds in the top.
because we've won the league.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be.
We'll be in pot A.
Ultimately, what I'm hoping for is if you look at City. Well, mind you, saying that City, if they beat Real Madrid, they've got who've they got?
Is it Bayern?
I think it's Juventus. You know,
Was it?
who Juventus playing?
Juventus.
In fact, they're playing.
Atletico. I didn't see the draw. I'm trying to think of teams that are left in. I know Atletico. Was it Leon? Maybe are they?
It is. I think it's Leon, and they're beating Juventus 1-0. But you just know that Juventus are gonna.
They'll come through that.
They'll turn it round because it's just Juventus, isn't it? So City could potentially get Juventus after they played Real Madrid, and over one leg. Cristiano Ronaldo, he wants that Champions League, doesn't he? He always wants it. He'll pull that.
Yeah.
Pull that through. I don't think they'll win the Champions League this year. I don't think they're strong enough to win it this year. But I reckon we might do the double next year.
I think League and Champions League or FA Cup Champions League.
League and Champions League.
Champions League. It's
He's 1-1 last year.
optimistic.
1-1 this year. Then he's like, come on, we'll just get them both.
I'm not arguing with it. I'd be made up with that.
If it depends, if Mbappe goes to Real Madrid, I wouldn't write them off it. Like if Neymar goes to Barca, you wouldn't write them off.
It's too early to even
So
put a
see,
prediction on it because you don't know who's going where.
And you don't know what man. I've just got this. If Pep goes back to Barca, I could see them doing it.
Yeah.
That was the last time he went with Pep, wasn't it?
The Champions League?
Yeah.
Must be.
I'm sure it was when Pep was there. But yeah, Liverpool up for the double. That's what I'm saying.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, you heard it first. But yeah, next time I speak to you, we'll have a nice picture. We'll replace this one with Henderson lifting the league. How good is that? Like, I can't even believe it's happening this Wednesday. I can't believe it.
Yeah,
Crazy.
it's happening. Get over it.
Can't believe
I
it.
see you filling up already thinking about it.
I know. I already had a cry when Chelsea won. Definitely have another cry though when we lift it, 100%. But yeah, nice one for coming on as always. Speak to you after the game. If I don't go out, we'll try and capture the live reaction of the two of us, which will be a good one. But we'll see. I'm not going to promise. Last time I promised to do a live podcast.
Yeah, never happened. I promise it. We'll just see how Wednesday goes. I'll be ready for it anyway.
See if there's any rumours I could pull them out on the main stand, because then I'll be right there. But yeah, up the Reds. Let's hope we win against Chelsea on the weekend. Nice one for tuning in.